Yo, Chicken Bacon, Connor here, and today I'm going to go over the update for 0.49 on DayZ Standalone. So a lot of new things have been added, and if you're new to my sort of update videos, what I do is at the beginning of the video, I talk about everything that's in the update, then I hop in game and see if I can find them. The things I do focus on more are the actual gameplay mechanics. If there's a new piece of clothing or a new gun, I don't really focus on it or care about it at all, as it's not, I mean, it's cool, but it's just not important to the overall gameplay. So, let's talk about some of the things that have changed. So, on the change server screen right here, you'll notice it says Hive, and all of these servers now say public, or in a bit when they're implemented, it will say private when there's a private Hive. Also, the mode screen says first/third person or just first person, which is awesome. A lot of people were confused, or rather misinformed, thinking that the hardcore servers were somehow more difficult, when in reality it's just first person, and it's not any more difficult than third. Alright, so they've added a couple new things to the weather. For instance, your character will now say, I am sweating and I am hot, as well as it's chilly. So, I'm assuming this means your character in the future in the game, I'm not sure if it's implemented now, will be able to die of heat as well as cold, depending on what kind of temperature he's in. You also have an option now to dry your clothes, kind of like a ring amount, I guess. The green bandages were added back into the game, thank you. A reference back to the old DayZ mod of the green bandages. Raincoats prevent you from getting soaked, so that's good. I like that, definitely. There's a new animation for picking apples, hunting backpacks spawn in barns, and there's a couple of other gameplay tweaks. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in-game here before the servers all get full. And I'll talk about a couple things that are not necessarily... Oh, and you see at the top of the screen there, it just flashed for a second, the name of the server and the IP address when you're joining a server. Alright, so let's go over some of the things that aren't necessarily features, that aren't actually new, but they're definitely optimizations and improvements. There's a central loot economy, which means they can control... I guess I'll put this in simple terms to make it a little bit easier to understand. So, if there's an AS-50 in the game, if you remember that from the DayZ mod, it's a big sniper rifle. If there was an AS-50 in DayZ Standalone, they could, with the global loot economy, or central loot economy, they can set that so that there's only 5 AS-50s in the entire game. And there's no way to get more, no way to get less. There's just 5, well, I guess there is a way to get less. You could drop it in the ocean or something, but still. Just in general, they can set it so there's only 5 of them in the game across all the servers. They have the ability to do that. They've updated and made some changes to the animal and zombie AI. I had a zombie behind me. Okay. They've also done a couple of updates with the nav mesh and some network optimizations, as well as adding a lever action rifle, which maybe I'll hopefully find. But the nav mesh and optimization updates, we're going to see if those are in effect fully. We'll see if zombies clip through walls. Specifically, I'm going to go to the Baronzino police station and test it, because I know in police stations the zombies love to kind of go through the wall and underneath the staircase. We'll see if they actually come all the way up instead of clipping through. I'll also test if zombies hit you through floors. So there's a problem when you're upstairs in certain houses that they can hit you from the bottom floor while you're on the top floor. So I'll have to test it out as well. So I'm gonna go out and find these things that I mentioned so far, and we'll see if they're good. Come in here. Yeah, you can. Hey. All right, come upstairs. Come on. Oh, you missed. Oh, okay. So the zombie definitely can come up here, and very fluidly as well. Wow. I'm actually impressed by how well zombie stayed centric on the staircase, and I'm bleeding again. Okay. Oh, and here comes the desync BS, so I have to vault out here to not get hit, right? No, I'm still getting hit. No, this is the network and nav mesh optimization right here. Perfect. 10 out of 10. So I moved to this corner and I'm still getting hit. What about over here? Nope, still getting hit. There's nowhere I can stand on this roof and not get hit. Okay, so nav mesh updates, I'm gonna say, either they're kind of off or I don't know what that was, but it was strange. Okay, this is something else that someone talked about, which hasn't been confirmed, but I can definitely confirm it right now. Walking downstairs is a lot faster, like way faster than it was before, to the point where I'm almost a little bit scared. Going up is actually faster too. Going up and down stairs is just, it's a really fast speed. Alright, so this is the new animation for searching for apples. It's a little bit more realistic, and as you can see, you can actually get rotten apples now, whereas before you could only get just the regular, like, pristine apple, I guess you can call it. Alright, so if you've seen the lower left now, I ran all the way up to, like, near the Northwest Airfield in Grishino. It says, I feel I might pass out from overheating, and it says hyperthermia. So I'm assuming what this is preventing players from sprinting infinitely and never having to worry about hydration and other things like that. So I'm not really sure how to get rid of hyperthermia other than just resting. Okay, so I'm gonna test the wring out your clothing feature when it's wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and become a crocodile, and we'll go from damp to wet to soaked. Okay, so now that we are soaked, let's go ahead and let's see, dry clothes. And then what is the? I feel seriously cold, and I feel quite cold is in the chat, and then I squeeze some water on my clothes, and it went from soaking to wet, and then if I dry it again, it'll probably go from wet to damp, and then from damp to normally dry. I think it just takes one of each. Okay, so one thing to notice is that now that I wring out my clothes and they're nice and dry, after I splash in the water, I was getting I might pass out, I'm hyperthermic rather, and now I am not getting the message while I'm running, because I went over into the pond and splashed some water. I guess that cools you off, so that way you're not overheating. Okay, so that is about it for the 0.49 update. I've covered just about everything except I couldn't find the lever action rifle. However, I'm not too focused on that. I'm more focused on the hyperthermic, hypothermic, cold, hot type things. Those actually affect your gameplay, as well as the raincoats that block rain. Unfortunately, it hasn't been raining, so I haven't had a chance to test that out. However, it is nice that the weather and the temperature is now part of the game, and it has the potential to affect your gameplay. Currently, you do not pass out from the heat. I'm not sure if you freeze to death from the cold. I'm not going to lay around in the pond and wait for that, though. But yeah, so currently they don't really affect you, or at least I haven't noticed it, because I ran from Baronzino to the airfield, and I didn't pass out, and I ran the whole way without stopping, and the whole way it was giving me the message about how I feel like passing out. So currently you don't pass out from it. That's a little bit of a bummer, but it is good that it is there, and it does show the message, and it's going to be implemented soon. So that's good that they're going to have weather related things in the future. I went over some of the other things like drying your clothes and things like that. I do hope you guys enjoyed the 0.48 update, and peace out. Or 4.9. Sorry, completely realized it said 4.8.